So I want to start reading this book to you guys, and it's called Shadow of Prey, and it's by John Sandford. And I'm gonna read the first chapter. Every time I get on YouTube, I'm gonna read a chapter to you. So this is quarantine, and if you need a good reading to go to sleep, I'm gonna try. So, so it starts out as, in the beginning, they were in a service alley tucked between two dumpsters. Carl read a beer can in his hands. Kept watch. Larry Clay peeled the drunk Indian girl, tossing her clothes on the floor of the back seat, wedging himself between her legs. Oh, by the way, it is a murder mystery. The Indian started to howl. Christ, she sounds like a fucking coon-dog, said Reed, a Kentucky boy. She's tight, Clay grunted. Reed laughed and said, hurry up, and lobbed his empty beer can toward one of the dumpsters. It clattered off the side and fell into the alley. Clay was in full gallop when the girl's howl pitched up, reaching toward a scream. He put one big hand over her face and said, shut up, bitch. But he liked it. A minute later, he finished and crawled off. Reed slipped off his gun belt and dumped it on the top of the car behind the light bar. Clay was in the alley, staring down at himself, looked at the fucking blood, and said, goddamn, Reed said, you got yourself a virgin. He ducked into the back seat and said, here comes Daddy. The squad car's only radius were police band. So Clay and Reed carried a transistor job that Reed had bought in a PX in Vietnam. Clay took it out, turned it on, and hunted for something decent. An all-news station was babbling about a Robert Kennedy's challenging Lyndon Johnson. Clay kept turning and finally found a country station playing Ode to Billy Joe. You about done, he asked, as the Bobby Gentry song trickled out into the alley. I never heard this song before, by the way. Just fucking hold on, Reed said. The Indian girl wasn't saying anything. When Reed finished, Clay was back in uniform. They took a few seconds to get some clothes on the girl. Take her or leave her? Reed asked. The girl was sitting in the alley, dazed, surrounded by discarded advertising leaflets that had been blown out of the dumpster. Fuck it, Clay said, leave her. They were nothing but drunk Indian chicks. That's what everybody said. It wasn't like you were wearing it out. It's not like they had less than they started with. Hell, they liked it, and that's why when a call went out, squad cars responded from all over Phoenix. Drunk Indian chick needs a ride home. Anybody? Say drunk Indian, meaning a male, and you think every squad in town had driven off a cliff. Not a peep, but a drunk Indian chick? There was a traffic jam. A lot of them were fat. A lot of them were old, but some of them weren't. Lawrence Duberville Clay was the last son of a rich man. The other Clay boys went into the family business, chemicals, plastics, aluminum. Larry came out of the college and joined the Phoenix police force. His family, except for the old man who made all the money, was shocked. The old man said, let him go. Let's see what he does. So Larry Clay started by growing his hair out, down on his shoulders, and dragging around town in a 56 Ford. In 2 months, he had friends all over the hippie community. 50 long-haired flower children went down on drugs before the word got out about the fresh-faced narc. After that, it was a patrol. Working the bars, the nightclubs, the after-hours joints, picking up the drunk Indian chicks. You could have a good time as a cop, Larry Clay did, until he got hurt. He was beaten so badly that the first cops on the scene thought he was dead. They got him to a trauma center and docs bailed him out. Who did it? Dope dealers, he said. Hippies, revenge. Larry Clay was a hero and they made him a sergeant. When he got out of the hospital, Clay stayed on the force long enough to prove that he wasn't chicken. And then he quit. Work his summers, he finished law school in 2 years. He spent 2 more years in the prosecutor's office. Then went into private practice. In 1972, he ran for the state senate and won. His career really took off when a gambler got in trouble with the IRS. In exchange for a little sympathy, the gambler gave the tax man a list of senior cops he paid off over the years. The stink wouldn't go away. So the city fathers, getting nervous, looked around and found a boy with a head on his shoulders, a boy from a good family, a former cop, a lawyer, a politician. Clean up the force, they told Lawrence D'Iberville Clay, but don't try too hard. He did precisely what they wanted. They were properly grateful. In 1976, Lawrence D'Iberville Clay became the youngest chief in the department's history. He quit 5 years later to take an appointment as an assistant U.S. Attorney General in Washington. A step backward, his brother said, "Just watch him," said the old man. And the old man was there to help. The right people, the right clubs. Money when it was needed. When a scandal hit the FBI, kickbacks in an insider trading investigation, the administration knew where to go. The boy from Phoenix had a rep. He cleaned up the Phoenix force and he cleaned up the FBI. But he wouldn't try too hard. At 42, Lawrence D'Iberville Clay was named the youngest FBI director since J. Edgar Hoover. He became the administration's point man for the war on crime. He took the FBI to the people and to the press. During a dope raid in Chicago, an AP photographer shot a portrait of a weary Lawrence D'Iberville Clay. His sleeves rolled above his elbows, a hollow look on his face. A huge Desert Eagle semi-automatic pistol rolled in a shoulder rig under his arm. The picture made him a celebrity. Not many people remember his early days at Phoenix, the nights spent hunting drunk Indian chicks. During those Phoenix nights, Larry Clay developed a taste for the young ones, very young ones, and some of them maybe weren't so drunk, and some of them weren't so interested in backseat tag team. But who was going to believe an Indian chick in Phoenix in the mid-60s? Civil rights worked for blacks in the South, not for Indians or Chicanos on the Southwest. And date rape wasn't even a concept, and feminism had barely come over the horizon. But the girl in the alley, she was 12, and she was a little drunk, but not so drunk that she couldn't say no, or remember who put her in the car. She told her mother stewed about it for a couple of days, then told 2 men she met at the rest. Now, the 2 men caught Larry Clay outside his apartment and beat the shit out of him with a genuine Louisville slugger. Broke one of his legs and both arms and a whole bunch of ribs. Broke his nose and some teeth. And it wasn't dope dealers who beat Larry Clay. It was a couple of Indians on a comeback from a rape. Lawrence D'Iberville Clay never knew who they were, but he never forgot what they did to him. He had a lot of shots at Indians over the years as a prosecutor, a state senator, a police chief, and an assistant U.S. Attorney General. He took them all, and he didn't forget them when he became director of the FBI. The iron fist on every Indian reservation in the nation, but there were Indians with long memories too, like the men who took him in Phoenix, the Crows. Well, which are the Crows. So, yeah, that's the introduction, and that's all I'm reading tonight. Chapter 1 is coming tomorrow. I will be doing that. And, yeah, good night.